Hello everyone and welcome to the very first video on my YouTube channel. My name is Wumi Michaels and I'm very glad to meet you all. So today we are making a loafers and right now I am trying to position and fit in my upper to the last, and I'm using nails to tack. So the one I just tacked at the back, I'm tacking the counter points and everything, the back heights, so the top line is straight and well. Now I'm going to hold it at the 12 o'clock position. The reason why we are tacking with nails, some people can also use staplers, but I am using nails, and that is because when you tack with nails, before you even apply your gum on it or any other thing, you get to see how the shoe comes out, so you get to see the shape and all of that. So I'm just tacking with my nails and then checking again to see how it goes. Also, you might notice these black spots around it that I dyed, and that is because the shoe requires a little bit of patina, and you will see that later in the video. So I am basically just tacking around with the nails, and also I am tacking both the upper and the lining, so both the leather and the lining is what I am tacking at this point, and that is because you have to hold both of them together to see the shape. And I hope you find this video very educating. So right now I am just tacking the leather and the lining together all around the insole. Usually at the back you don't need much tacking, because when you hold it, just the way the first nail I put was at the counterpoint, usually at the back you don't need to tack anymore, because it is already snug, but you can just still hold it just in case. So now you can see I already did one leg. I am just doing this other leg as an example to show you guys. So now after tacking the leather and the lining, you start tacking the lining only. This takes a lot of time, but I find it very helpful. I mean, I don't know any other way that you're supposed to make your shoe, but this is it. So now after tacking, you remove the nail, the one you used to tack both the lining and the leather together, and then you drag the lining. The plier I'm using, we call it lasting plier. I don't know what another person will call it, but we call it lasting plier, and I'm using hammer to hit the nails. I'm also using a scissors to remove the nails I already put, so I'll be able to hold the lining. So that's currently what I'm doing now, basically going around all the places that I had tacked, because the first time I tacked it with the leather and the lining, and now I'm tacking just the lining, as you can see. Okay. So I'm going round again. And another thing that this tacking is good for is so you don't have wrinkles at the back of your shoe and at the front. It is very crucial to make sure that you don't have wrinkles, because then it shows and it is not a very pretty sight at all. Basically, I'm just going around it again. Like I said, this may take a lot of time, but I find it very useful, and I don't know any other way to do it. So this is basically what I do. When you're making a shoe, you have to take your time to do it. in other videos I had already cut out the pattern and everything, so in more videos to come I am going to show you guys how I created the pattern in the first place, the lining pattern as well, and basically every other thing else. So I'm just holding it very well because I do not want any wrinkles on it. And I am done completely applying my gum, so I'll be able to set it down. Just apply. You may have a few bumps because of the nails, but you will still be able to go through with it. So like I said, I already did one before and I was just using the second leg as a demonstration. So now I am reapplying gum on the first one that I had already tacked, just to make sure that it sticks and it stays. I just have this thing that I have to rub gum twice in leather because I feel like that's when I'll get the most out of the gum. Some people may rub once, but I feel it may affect, I feel like it may eventually start pulling off. So these things I'm rubbing gum now is the front stay and the back stay, and I am just rubbing the gum now while I wait for the other ones to dry up. So the front one, which is this one that I am currently rubbing gum on, is the ones that are going to be at the front, and then the second ones are the ones that are going to be at the back. So I'm just rubbing gum, rub the gum on one side of the front stays and back stays, not on both sides, because you have to apply it so you know where you are fixing it to. So the gum is dried and now I have to start bringing down the leather and so basically I'm just lasting around it, and when I do I have to remove the nails. And another reason why we tack first and we don't glue our leather directly to our lining for instance is because in this case now we have to put in the front stay and the back stay, and you can't do that when you glue your leather and your lining together. So that is why we have to make sure that they are separated but later attached together. Okay, so I'm basically just lasting around, like you can see, moving the nails and then lasting around it. So we're still laying down the lining. Okay, as you can see, I'm still trying to lay down the lining, and you can see how flat and tight. No rumples. The lining is on the last, which is also very good, and that is why it is important to tack your leather and lining around your lining and your leather first. So when you come to the back, you have to make sure, try as much as you can for rumples not to show or wrinkles, because it then, if you have wrinkles on your lining, it's going to show when you cover up with your leather, and it is going to be very messy, and we want the work to be very neat and clean. So you have to take your time around the back and the front. And don't forget to remove any extra nails that might be remaining. So here I am almost done lasting around it. So yes, and I have completely removed the tack nails that I used. This is what we have, and this is how it looks. So I set that one aside. Now I am just going to go around the second one again. Just to rub gum. It's basically just like the first one. You have to make sure that you draw your lining as much as you can so it is flat around your last, and yeah, that's it. Now that the gum is dried, I have to start placing it and lasting it again. Note that I rubbed the gum twice on the insole and the lining, as well as the front stays and the back stays again, so it's easier for me. Okay, so now I am attaching the front stay. Just rubbing gum to make sure that it stays. So I had to during editing I had to cut out a few parts, but basically after applying the front stay, I am now lasting the leather onto the front stay and the lining while trying for it not to, excuse me, somebody brought shoe for me to check. Sorry for the interruption. So I am back to lasting the front, trying my very best for it not to be rumpled around there. So that is it. I heard that some people use hand to last a shoe. Personally, I don't know how easy it to be for you because it's going to be very strong and it will hurt your fingers. So that is why it's good to have a lasting plier like the one I'm using now. You can get it from the market, maybe the people selling building materials, or from your local shoemaker shop. Still lasting. It takes a while. Currently, there are no tack nails on it anymore because I have removed it, and I had to remove them because I'm hitting it with the hammer so it doesn't show. So just making it right. Like I said, the reason why there are black stripes around it is because I am going to do what is known as patina, and I already just did a little because I wanted the dye on it to be very dry, so I already did it before lasting, before even sewing. Like there was a way I just did it through, so I wanted that area to be very dried because one of the secrets about patina is that you need your dye to be very dried. Okay, finally I am done lasting. So this is how it looks, and I have attached the sole. I attached it off camera. So now for the patina parts, I am going to talk a little about the do's and don'ts, based off my own knowledge and what I have done. So basically I am using black dye, alcohol based dyes, and red dye. And also to clean up and brush up, I am also using a methylated spirit. I hope I said that right. Some people can use perfumes, but that is what I use, and cotton wools or cotton pads. So currently I am using the spirits, the methylated alcohol, to just brush off the line I already did. That was with black dye, because I don't want it to be just so obvious. So when you're using this alcohol, it helps it, so you don't have so much line, it helps it dissolve and smoothing into the leather. So I want the patina at the front, so it's going to be darker at the front, and I'm using black dye currently. Another thing that I do is that I dissolve or dilute the dyes. So I add extra, just a little bit of alcohol to them. They are alcohol based, but I add just a little. So I'm putting it at the front, a little at the back, and around the top line, just so it blends well. So it's both at the back and the front. I know it's looking it's looking somehow now, but it takes time. So I have applied that, as you can see. Now I'm going in with the alcohol to make it blend and smoothen it, so it doesn't just have those glaring lines from your black dye. So it's smoothing the strokes from your dye, makes it blend in with your leather and any other color that you want to do. So that is what I am doing right now. Just smoothing it out so I don't have that black marks just showing around it. Now I'm going in with the red dye, just to give it the color, give the leather the extra color. Because one thing, when you use a good leather, when you're using alcohol to brush it out, it fades out the color and gives it that very natural color. So now I'm just going with the red dye around it, so it is not just pale pink, I think, and it also helps the patina come out. Now that I think of it, I think I should probably make this section another video. I will work towards that, but for now this is what we have. So this is it. Like I told you, it takes a lot of time. You have to be patient, and you need your dye to be dried. Some people leave it overnight, but if you're in a hurry, you can leave it for about 30 minutes. But the dye has to dry and set into the leather properly, so you also get that shine when you are polishing it. So that is how the first one looks. You just have to eyeball it and see how it comes out. Now I am just going to do the other leg. The one I did just now is far away, but I think you can actually see the difference between this one I am doing currently and the one I just finished. So I'm basically repeating the same processes again with the same things I showed you I was using, the same things I used. Nothing changed. I told you guys about diluting the dyes, so I'm just adding alcohol to just a little bit of alcohol to dilute them so they are not so sharp and they can easily blend. Okay, so this is what we have at the end of it. You know, by the time you apply your polish, because we're still going to polish it, it will come out very well. So I am just doing a little bit of adding a little bit here and there to just touch it up. Please use your discretion. There is no measurement to it. I don't know if there is, but you just do what it says. Eyeball it all the way. That is what I do. I don't know if that's bad advice. Okay, so that is it. Always clean your workspaces, please. It makes it easier for you to see what is on ground, especially when you are working with sharp things. And you know, clean up after yourself. So I am going to attach the video of the polishing, but for now that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share this video. Thank you very much.